morning, everyone. Hope y'all are having a fantastic start to your week. We're back. We missed last week. Last week, obviously, was Memorial Day on Monday. And so then Tuesday, we had to film Grip Lock and all that fun stuff. So coffee break got pushed. But we're back. We're back this week. We got some exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. First off, within Foundation, we are in full Impostor disc golf preparation mode. So I will say I know a lot of people applied from the Instagram story that we put out a little bit ago, and also in the in our creator academy that we have. We put it in there, and a lot of people applied. We selected those people, and you'll find out today. I'll be sending out an email. You'll be finding out today if that's you. So if you applied, be looking for an email today. If you don't get an email, unfortunately, you were not selected. But I got two people that are from the people that applied that are going to be joining us for Impostor. So that's super exciting. And we're going to be filming Impostor in July, and then it'll be releasing in November. So yeah, it's gonna be a blast. We got a lot of fun twists and stuff like that for this year. We got a lot of we're making a little bit more reality show-esque. I think last year we tried to focus all on the disc golf, which was great for the first year. But now that we know people like the reality show side, we're gonna lean into the reality show side a little bit more. We're gonna have a Airbnb that everyone stays in for the whole week, get some house footage, do some different side quest challenges. It's gonna be a blast. So we've had a lot of planning meetings, a lot of stuff going into it, and we have some great brand partners that are making it happen. So we're excited to start kind of rolling that stuff out, announcing all that to you. But if you applied, be on the lookout today, probably mid-afternoon, for an email that'll let you know if you're in. So like I said, 2 of you are getting in to make our cast of 8. So should be a blast. We're really, really excited for this year's Imposter series. As we wait for people to roll in, I'll highlight the releases from this week. First off, we have the Solar Flare 2, which is Alden Harris's signature disc from Discmania, dropping this week. That is, I believe, an FD3. From Latitude, we have a bunch of Tour Series stuff. We have Albert Tom Ballista Pros. We have Jakub Simrad Grand Orbit Braves. I'm actually excited for that one. I really need to try the Brave. How many times are we going to say that before I try it? Silver Lots, Rive, Rebecca Cox, Sapphire, Johnny McRae, Fuses, and Linus Carlson Opto X Explorers. So some awesome Tour Series stuff coming from there. And then West Side, we have a bunch of VIP Air discs. So if you're looking for lightweight stuff, then we're going to have the rest of our Discraft restock, I believe, is going up, which will include a buzzsaw, stock buzzsaw, the fused buzz, what they call it. That's going to be going up. And the rest of our MVP restock will be going up. So yeah, this is also starting the June month. We should have some subscription boxes becoming available here pretty soon. So the June sub box is very, very cool. I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy that. So that's going to be sick. And then I don't know if I can officially say the date of this, so I'm not going to. But the MVP pre-orders, if you pre-ordered the Fission Trail, Eagle Dimension, all of that stuff, that'll be shipping in a few weeks. So in a few coming weeks, that'll be shipping. I think there's still some on the site if you missed out on the pre-order and you want to get in on the pre-order, there's still some on the site for that stuff. So fun week ahead. You also might have noticed we've been teasing a little something called Project Skybound. I can't tell you any more information than that, but be on the lookout for more information coming very soon. We're super stoked about it. So July 18th, that's your date. But Project Skybound, like I said, I'm not going to say anything else. If you put a guess in the comment section, I'm not even going to address it, no matter what the guess is. But it's definitely something it's something we've never done before. We've always had an idea to do something like this. It's kind of woven into stuff like we've done before, but the actual Project Skybound, we're very, very excited about. So you'll start to see more marketing for that rolling out. Right now, we're just kind of teasing some stuff. So that's all I'm going to say. But what is Shay saying? If you live in town, get the Foundation on drop day, the brick and mortar. Oh, for MVP. I guess you're saying, Shay. I was just saying, like, we had some brick and mortar store exclusive. And I was like, what? but I don't even know about that, Shay. But I'm guessing you're saying the MVP brick and mortar store exclusive. So that's exciting. But okay. Oh, I was born wild. You sent me the trail running coffee, right? Back around Christmas. I drank it all. It was awesome. It was fantastic. If you're who I'm thinking of. But it was great. Okay, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do here is we need to decide my putter for the month of June. So how I do this is I always go with the worst selling putter from the previous month. Had to have at least sold one. So worst selling putter previous month that sold at least one that we still have in stock. Those create my options, and then I'm gonna let y'all choose what my putter is for the month of June. So, excuse me, jeez. So the options for this month are gonna be the anode, the ion, the fudge, the guard, and the popcorn. So those are the 5. I don't think can I create a poll on? Can I create? Nope. I don't think I can create a poll on Instagram. Turn off. Yeah, I can't create a poll on Instagram. I know I can on YouTube, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a poll over on YouTube, and that's going to decide my June putter. Decide my putter for June. And the options, I believe, were the anode, the ion, the fudge, the popcorn, and that's all it's gonna let me add. Okay, so I feel like I should take off the anode or the ion. I have a bunch of ions, so I'm gonna take that off. I'm gonna take off the anode to put the guard on because I can only have 4 options, and I don't want to have. I feel like that's gonna be good. Okay, there you go. We'll let the people decide. So we're gonna let the people decide there. And while that's rolling, we'll go ahead and start taking some questions. So if you got any questions, throw them in the chat. I know a lot of people I've seen are saying that either, like Courtney Beal just said he played the New London course on Sunday. I saw some people on Instagram saying they're coming in town to play the New London course this week. Very excited about it. I definitely think, to be honest with you, I think that amateurs are going to have less fun at the New London redesign than pros or than the old course. Because I think that it's definitely a more wooded track, but I think it'll make for a really, really solid Pro Tour course. So it's an interesting one because I think that the general public might like it less, but I think the Pro Tour might like it more. It's a Pro Tour course, so I feel like if you're gonna go with either the general public or the Pro Tour liking it, you got to go with the Pro Tour liking it. So, but yeah, I'm excited to have it back open where we can start playing it again. It is grueling. I think we're actually gonna go film 2 videos out there on Thursday. Probably a little front 9, back 9 action. So Elijah DeRock said, what is your favorite mold right now? My favorite mold right now is, it's a fantastic question. It's like the classic ones are always Destroyer, Thunderbird, MD3, PA3, but I actually don't even have a PA3 in my bag right now. But I think the one I've been liking the most right now is either the Charger or the Shrike. I've been loving both of those. Oh, perfect timing. Jackson just said, do I need a bag of Charger? Yes. Yeah, definitely. I think that the Charger and the Shrike are kind of, which it sounds weird to have them both in the bag, but I have one of the Jessica Weiss, I think it is, Halo Champ Shrikes, and that thing's actually overstable for a Shrike. Like, it's actually, like, I rip it on hyzer and just flips up to flat, gets a little cruise and comes back, versus the Charger is like rip it on hyzer and it turns all the way over. So, I really like the Charger and the Shrike right now. So, oh yeah, Rolling Games said traveling 15 hours for the Amateur Challenge and then have my only practice on that afternoon. How would you get ready for that tournament? I don't know what division you're playing in, so if you don't know what he's talking about, the Amateur Challenge at the Pro Tour Championship is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's AM divisions come and play the local courses while the Pro Tour Championship's going on. So if you're in MA1 and MA2, you actually are playing Ivy Hill and New London. The other divisions are playing just courses around here that you'll know from our videos if you watch our videos, but and then you get discounted tickets to watch the Pro Tour Championship. So like, what more could you want? But MA3, I don't know. So Rolling Games is in MA3. I don't know what courses. Let me see what courses MA3 plays. How do I find this? Okay, Pool B. So they'll play Liberty East, New London, and Independence. Okay. So, wow. You're going to want to play a lot of woods and have a really good placement shot in your bag. Playing New London and MA3, it's not going to be about scoring. It's going to be about not blowing up. And honestly, same thing with Independence and East. East is going to be the most scoreable of the three for sure. But you're just going to have a controllable mid-range shot. Ideally, something you could throw between 280 to 300 feet that you can just trust to be in the fairway. That's going to be your bread and butter, and you're going to have to make some putts. But if you can just have a consistent shot that you don't get aggressive and get out there and, mess around with trying to bite off too much off the tee. Again, no one's going to be scoring. And those three courses in MA3, you're going to have some guy flash in the pan and score a little bit, but no one's going to be shooting way under par. So I would definitely just try to keep something in the fairway and get close to par. So, yeah. Kevin Kirkland asked if I ever thrown a Vector. Old out of production mold from Discraft feels like a smaller rock. I have not. I've never thrown a Vector. Jordan, have I ever thought about adding pictures of dome on each disc to our site? Looking for a specific run of Mayhem that's domey, but I can't find anywhere that shows the dome for them. So back in the day, we actually did have pictures of dome, and we took it away mainly because of how long it takes. It basically doubles the time of uploading a disc, because this is a passion, right? So right now, we're able to put in the passion. We have the exact disc you're buying as far as, that this is going to be a bottom stamp with, pink hearts, I think this foil is, that type stuff. So you know exactly that. But as far as, then we go take the picture, and we just take the picture here, then we would also have to take it here, and we would have to delineate it somehow differently in the in uploading shit. So it basically would just expand the process for uploading discs and increase our cost pretty drastically. And what I don't know is, I just don't know if the increased demand from having dome would justify the increased cost from having to put dome in there. So as of right now, because that's the other thing, is there are circumstances where dome is very important, right? Like a domey Hades is an incredible disc. A flat Hades is a completely different disc. But for the most part, domey, flat, at least in my experience, it's not drastically different. Again, it's mold specific, because you really want a flat Firebird, right? You really want like I said, domey Hades. You might, but a lot of times runs are pretty consistent. Nowadays, there's not many domey Hades. They're pretty much all flat. So it's hard. That's the other thing, is when we get a shipment in of the Heist, for instance, but pretty much all of them look the exact same dome level. So then, yes, it'd be nice to provide you the information so that you know, but we have a very a lot of people who find our channel and end up shopping with us a lot of times end up are newer players, because you're new to disc golf. You go to YouTube, you search disc golf, you find Foundation, and then you end up finding our site, right? And when you provide new players with so much information, it can kind of make it where it's really hard for them to pull the trigger, because they don't know what flight numbers are yet, much less the dome level. So now when you're adding one more layer, that's another concern of mine, is the more complex, the more decisions we make a customer have to make before reaching checkout, I think the lower the conversion rate will be. So I'm fearful that it actually could end up being more work for less results, as far as, not because, they only have flat whatever, but because I didn't even know I cared about flat or domey, and now I have these options and I don't know which is better, and all of a sudden I'm now thinking through, can't decide, I'm out. Versus, I like the blue Thunderbird, I'm buying the blue Thunderbird. I now don't have to worry. All I have to worry about is, I like the weight foil color. I don't have to worry about Is it domey enough? Am I gonna like the feel? I don't know. So that's where we've always landed, but we're always open to change. If demand is for the dome, like I said, it's a drastic amount more work in my opinion to do that for every disc. But it is something that could be done. It's not impossible to do. So we could do it in the future, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. Is a domey Hades better than a flat Hades? Well, CC Disc Golf, it depends on what you're looking for. So if you want a Hades to be really flippy, get a flat Hades. If you want the Hades to be what the Hades isn't really designed for, which is like you can rip it as hard as you want, you can throw it 400 some feet and have a ton of glide and be able to just have it flip up and have a little bit of turn but not burn over, then you want a domey Hades. So for what I like the Hades for, I like a domey Hades, but I'm not going to say a domey Hades is better than a flat Hades because I think a flat Hades is probably closer to what the Hades is supposed to be, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Oh, and Shay also makes a great point. If you don't like the disc, Foundation has a program in place to let you return it and pick something new, which we do. If you shop in the U.S., you have 30 days on any disc golf purchase, any disc purchase on our site. You have 30 days to use it, abuse it, throw it, have it get ran over by a lawnmower for all we care. Send us an email, say, hey, this Passion, I don't really like how it flies. I thought I was going to like it. I don't. And we'll send you a shipping label, a paid-for shipping label. You ship it back to us, and you'll get credit in your account for you to go buy whatever disc you do know you love. So if you're like, I think I like the Thunderbird. I don't really know. You can buy one. If you hate it, no worries. Send it back. We'll cover shipping both ways. We'll pay for a shipping label for you to send it back to us. And then we will give you enough credit for the disc replacement and shipping back to you. And there you have it. So, and then the disc you ship back to us ends up either in our used section or in certified used, depending on how good of condition it's in. So, yeah, that's Foundation Care. You don't even have to do anything. All you have to do is fill out a form if you don't like the disc. It's that simple. MK45 Henry said, how overstable are the new Calvin Destroyers? I don't know, but I'll put that out there for the chat because I haven't thrown a new Calvin Destroyer. So if anyone in the chat has, let them know. Is Foundation going to Finland for Worlds? We are not. We're not going to Finland this year. Hopefully 1 year, but not this year. Rolling Game said, any recent running goals you caught yourself aiming for? I set out a goal to run a sub 20-minute 5K just because I didn't have a anything on my calendar. So I'm like kind of working towards that, but I just put the Virginia 10 miler I'm running on the calendar, and then I'm running the Richmond half marathon in November. So right now I'm kind of just stay in shape until it's time to start training for those. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at right now. So I'm not really I don't really have a specific goal right now. I think at the Richmond half marathon, I would like to run an hour 45 minutes. I ran an hour 52 at the, what was it called? Flying Pirate half marathon back in March or April. I think it was March. And I felt like I had more in the tank. So I think for November, I'd like to try to run an hour 45, but that would be about an 8-minute pace. So I think I can do it, but that's kind of the next goal. When's the next Foundation Golf video dropping? It's every other Saturday. So I think this past Saturday, did one drop this past Saturday or was that a week and a half ago? It might be this upcoming Saturday. I think this upcoming Saturday is the next golf video. So every other week, 12 p.m. Saturday. All Business Brad, he said the sub box inventory is live and available. So the sub box for this month, if you want to get in on that, I'm not going to spoil it until the 15th. That's when everyone who's currently subscribed gets theirs shipped out. So I'm not going to spoil it because I know people like the mystery aspect. So, but if you're a fan of Foundation, if you're a fan of the brand, you will like this month's box. That's a Hunter Thomas guarantee. If you're a fan of Foundation's brand, you're a fan of the personalities, you'll like this box. It's not personality stamps. That might have thrown you off track. We just did that. We did that like 2 months ago. But yeah, I think this month you're really gonna enjoy it. So. Joe Block said, long time sub, showing my gratitude, appreciate it. My girl's most hated phrase just happens to be, what's up, Foundation Nation? That's funny. I'd love to see you in Houston sometimes. You know, what's funny about Foundation Nation is the only reason that became a thing is when we started, when it was me and Zach started YouTube, and there was no good way to like, there's no good way to like start a YouTube video without it feeling awkward when you're first starting. I don't know if any of y'all have done YouTube, but it's just weird, just like to not have some type of phrase to like break. I'm standing here staring at a camera, and now we're filming. Nowadays, it wouldn't be weird. I could say whatever the frick I want because I've been doing it for 6 years. But when you first start, it's really awkward to do that. And so at that point, Jake Paul always said like, "What's up, Jake Paulers?" or something like that. And there was I'm trying to think who else. Like there was Miss Mag 822 was like a magician YouTuber that started every video a certain way. I'm trying like everyone had something, right? Like everyone had some type of catchphrase, something they said. And so we were like just joking around. And then we landed on Foundation Nation because we were like, oh, that rhymes. It sounds fun. And so I started saying, what's good, Foundation Nation? I don't know what the first video was that I said it in because I don't think I said it in the first video we ever did. So I don't know at what point we started it, but now it just rolls off that it's become a joke of like that I just slur all the words together because I just say it so fast. To me, I say it perfectly. I say, what's good, Foundation Nation? But that part, Foundation Nation, you know, everyone just makes fun of that, gets slurred together. But hey, it's stuck. We've built a community around it, and it's great. I love it. So, you know, Jake Paul did something good for disc golf. How about that? Bradba DG said, Morning Hunter, can you bring up the PDJ Live app and how TDs could be sending warnings via the live scoring app for pace of play? Yeah, that's a great idea. Actually, I haven't thought about the sending warnings pace of play, but you wouldn't even have to have a marshal to do that. So that makes perfect sense. You just have the scorers be like, hey, pick up your pace or start calling pace of play, blah, blah, blah. I definitely think there's a lot of better ways to enforce a pace of play than what's going on with current. I think the current rules for pace of play, again, it just requires people to actually call it. And if no one's calling the rule right now, why are they going to call a more complex rule? Like that doesn't make any sense. So, oh, Shay also said it's all or nothing was a solid meme for a bit. Yeah, I don't even know where that one came from. That we just picked an intro song, and it just said it's all or nothing, and we thought it was funny. But hey, now it's here now. A lot of people think that one of us sang it, it's all or nothing, but it was just a song we found. There's actually, I forget what the name of the song, like someone sampled the same song we used from our like royalty free thing, and it used it as the intro to a song on Spotify. And so that's also funny because some people think that we're just fans of some random indie band on Spotify that it has the like that part. I think it's all or nothing sampled from a different song. I don't know. I don't exactly remember, but it's none of us singing. Although we should do a version where we sing it because that'd be hilarious. Shay also brought up our intro montage used to be super long. Yeah, our intro, originally it was 30 seconds, I believe, which is brutal, especially in modern day YouTube. We're actually, in modern day YouTube, don't be surprised if the intro logo bug goes away here soon, because that's kind of that's still an old YouTube trend. But, you know, it's just finding the balance of, are we strictly playing the YouTube game, or are we still trying to like do branding? But that is an old YouTube trend. But our old intro was like 30 seconds long. It had us like in the warehouse, out on the course. I mean, it was kind of hype, but it was not a good YouTube intro. And what's funny is there was actually like a slow-mo scene of me like typing on my laptop, and I forget what I typed, but I typed something on there. I think it was like something about Trevor's old roommate Pete. I'm pretty sure, but I remember I remember Trevor and I spent like probably 10 or 15 minutes thinking of what would be funny to type, because we were like, oh, someone's gonna slow this down and see what I typed. I don't even remember what it was anymore, because at the end of the day, you can't. It's like sideways, and you can't see what I was typing. But yeah, it was very funny. Kevin said, my vote for Connor to sing the intro. Yeah, we do need to do a version of someone singing the intro, because that'd be very funny. So, yeah, you know, modern day YouTube, it's all about getting people into the video quick. Great Steven said, hey man, do you guys have any nice 9-speed discs? And boy, do we. 9-speeds are awesome. All 9 speeds. The Thunderbird's the best 9-speed. But if you're not a Thunderbird guy, I think the Vulture is technically a 9-speed. It says it's a 10, but 9, 10 speeds, they're interchangeable, and the Vulture's a great one. Castoplast makes some really awesome 9 speeds. I believe it's the Lots is like a flip up, and then the Falk is like a flip up and over. The Undertaker is one of the newest 9 speeds in my bag. Very, very straight. Mine's actually pretty overstable, but most of the time it's very straight. That's a great option. The Valkyrie is a great hyzer flip to turn option for a 9-speed. I think the Glory, or is it the Honor? One of those two is a good overstable 9-speed. So yeah, good stuff. 9 speeds are one of my favorite speeds. They're great. So okay, we'll take a few more questions, and then how much are all of them? It depends on the plastic. All of them are premium plastic, so you're probably looking between 17 to 20 bucks. I wouldn't mess with the 9-speed and baseline plastic. So you probably could find one for like 10 if you got in like DX or something, but I wouldn't mess with that. I would definitely go premium plastic. So I would stick with Champ, Z. I like that type, the like see-through plastic. But you can also go Star, ESP, K1 is Castoplasts. The most expensive is going to be the Royal line stuff, so the Honor or the Glory. That's going to come in like $25, I think. So, yeah. Oh, Rolling Game said, I need a Zone OS and I want a vanilla. I don't know which one to get, especially since I don't know how either one feels. So the Zone OS just feels like a little bit deeper zone. The vanilla is pretty shallow. It's a shallow 11 speed, but it's a great flyer. You know, it's a hyzer flip machine. So really just depends on what you want. But yeah, I mean, you know, you could always try out the vanilla with foundation care. If it comes in and you hate it, fill out the form, send it back to us, and then use the credit to buy Zone OS. Because the Zone OS, it's really overstable. You know you're gonna like it. Like there's nothing. If you think you want a Zone OS, you want a Zone OS. Like there's nothing to learn about it. You know what I mean? You know what it's gonna do. So, all right, we'll go. I see 3 more questions on YouTube. I'll answer all 3 of those, and then we'll wrap it up there. Goodyear Disc Golf said, favorite DGA mold? My favorite DGA mold is the Quake. Runner-up's the Pipeline, but the Quake I think is my favorite. Just a great overstable mid, really comfortable in the hand. I actually don't have one in the bag right now because I have a Balance in the bag, but the Quake's awesome. So that's my favorite DGA mold, especially if you can find flat ones, but all of them are good. Next question was, do I know of a stable run of the Trespass? I do not, unfortunately. The Trespass is an awesome disc, but most of them hyzer flip. Your best bet might be going like a Supreme Trespass, or if you found like a Lucid Ice Trespass, because Lucid Ice is going to make the rim more stiff, which should help the stability. So yeah, I don't really know of a specific one though. And then last question. What is a detour but a higher speed, or high speed detour? So a detour is a hyzer flip to slight turn 5-speed. So you're looking for a hyzer flip to turnover faster disc. So someone said Rhythm if you want to stay MVP. I think that's a good option if you want to stay within MVP. If you don't, then I think you could go something like a Passion from Discraft or an Avenger SS. Avenger SS is going to be flippier, also a little bit faster, but a Passion I think is probably going to be a great option there. If you want to go full speed, so like truly fast, I think you could go. See, it's tough because the Detour can handle some power on Hyzer without burning all the way over. So I think from MVP, you could probably go Wave, especially a Fission Wave. I think that might work well. I think you could go the Vanilla could be a good option. We were just talking about the Vanilla. You could go, if you want to go to Discraft, the Thrasher might be a little bit too flippy, but I think that could be in there, or the Scorch. Yeah, I think I'll just stick with that. I'll stick with those. Insanity's a good one too. Fission Insanity is also a great one. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up. Hopefully you enjoy. Hopefully you enjoyed the Q&A. I had one final thing I was going to push, but I don't know. The Ion seems that it won this month's putter poll. So there we go. I'll be putting with the Ion for the month of June. Honestly, it wasn't even close. I should have known. MVP fanboys roll deep. So be on the lookout this weekend for a lot of fun releases. Gosh, what was the other thing I wanted to say? I don't know what it was. Maybe I'll remember by next week. But appreciate all of y'all for tuning in, and I'll talk to you again next week.